With tomorrow's success dependent on our ability to find intelligent solutions to the everyday sustainability challenges that we face, what role can and should business play? Well, I'm pleased to say that I'm joined by Dax Lovegrove from WWF UK, Martin Chilcott from 2 Degrees, and AkzoNobel's Director of Sustainability, André Veneman, to share their thoughts and explain what can be achieved at a corporate level. So, gentlemen, thanks for joining us here today. Dax, I think we'll start with you if we may. Why is it that sustainability is becoming increasingly important?
Well, I think for any business, it's about survival, actually. It's about success as well. But it's about, at the front end, building reputation. In this digital age, there is no way to hide bad practice. So bad practice is going to come out pretty quick and damage any brand, fairly heftily. So good practice is going to be good for building a good reputation, building a good social license to operate. While companies face climate change, resource scarcity, all kinds of global threats. It's also about resource resilience as well. So within the supply chain, companies getting more serious about protecting the natural assets on which they depend, they will be in better shape to deal with the future. And we at WWF encourage companies to come together to look at stewardship of forests and fisheries and freshwater systems, to really come together with local authorities, with communities, to improve the governance and management of those assets for the good of industry, but also for the good of people and wildlife.
And Martin, like businesses, how can they drive efficiency through becoming more sustainable?
Well, there's an awful lot they can do is the short answer, partly because we are just so inefficient. We like to think we're efficient, we're not really. What we've become very good at doing is working in silos, in very specialist fields, and very efficient at that. But when you look at the whole piece, there's enormous amounts of waste all over the place. Just to give you an example. So one of our clients, as a retailer, buys and sells us loose potatoes, and they have somebody who specialises in just buying loose potatoes, buys fabulous high quality loose potatoes at a great price. Unfortunately, Mother Nature doesn't make to order, perfectly round, certain shape. Yes, exactly. Yeah, right. So about a third of the crop can't be sold as loose potatoes, so they get left behind in the field, and they normally get ploughed back into the ground. And that's not just bad in its own right, but within the same building, this has changed now, but it used to be in the same building, there was somebody else who was buying ready meals, and many of those ready meals coming from a food manufacturer had mashed potato in them. Yeah. And so now they've connected up those silos, and they're buying the whole crop, and the small, nubbly, difficult shaped ones are going off to be turned into mashed potato and coming in. So we've got this, these really inefficient silos, or very efficient silos on their own, but when you look at it as a system, very inefficient.
And it's all about getting these people linked together. And
linking them up, getting them to collaborate, sharing best practice, understanding what one person's waste can become another person's input, what I don't want, you might want, and just understanding that bigger picture much more efficiently.
And André, just coming to you, how important is R&D to creating a sustainable model, if you will?
Yeah, innovation, sustainability is deeply embedded in our company strategy, because we see it as the only way forward. It's the way to sustain your business success. And the reason is that, demand will increase in so many ways, moving to a world with 9 billion people, a new middle class of 3 billion people, 70% of people living in cities. Today, the scarcity of fiber, fresh water, many natural resources, volatile fossil fuel prices, we need to change. And the good news is, for a company like ours, coating specialty chemicals, in many of our end markets, a big transition will be going on. 50% of our products are sold to construction and housing. Well, we can contribute to heat reflective, light reflective coatings, wood protective coatings, insulation materials. Today we are able to deliver 20% of any green building scheme. But that's also our way forward. We should deliver that type of contribution to transport and mobility. We should deliver that kind of contribution to consumer goods, where we enable with our coatings and chemicals to reuse and recycle these consumer goods. So in short, it is a new model. For leading businesses, it's becoming the new business model. And that's why we say sustainability is business, business is sustainability. But in our type of industry, where we are very resource and energy intensive, for us it's key that we become much more resource efficient for every unit of value we generate. And we can't do it alone. We need to work with our suppliers and with our customers but we also need to work with the NGOs and the governments to make change happen.
It sort of brings together a whole collaborative element, and business models now have to become much more collaborative.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got to step outside just efficiency thinking. We've got to step into real business model innovation and real shifts. So the circular economy requires us to reorganise. The sharing economy, collaborative consumption, we need to experiment far more than we see businesses doing at the moment. The shift from products to services, another essential piece. The restorative piece, companies coming out with net positive or restorative goals. So I think those sorts of shifts are essential, as well as coming together to protect natural assets.
And a lot of this, André, presumably is the thinking behind your company's Planet Possible.
Yeah, I want to move away from the idea of doom and gloom. We are not going to make it. There is a story of optimism. We can make that change happen, but it doesn't come easily. We should not have fake dreams about change that will happen. Planet Possible, we can live with 9 billion people within the boundaries of one planet, but we need to work very hard under new leadership and in new forms of cooperation.
Great stuff. Chaps, thanks ever so much. We are out of time. Short and sweet on that one there today. But thanks then to Dax Lovegrove, Martin Chilcott and André Veneman for joining us today. And if you'd like to find out more about the issues that we've just been chatting about, sustainability and more about Planet Possible, then please log on the web. It's all the W's, www.aksonobel.com/Planet Possible. Goodbye.